Shane.
Yo.
These.
Carmen, we're outside. I don't think you need to wear this unless you feel more comfortable.
I feel fine. I just really don't want to screw any of you guys over. You guys get mad. I haven't had any symptoms, but I was.
Is that a Christmas tree?
Right
on the inside.
Thanks,
I was in there.
Now we know why.
All right, good morning. So I'm actually lumping 2 days into one video. I did this before in Lake City, and it's actually kind of a similar situation. This time it's not a 00, it's just 10, and now I've left the Butterfly House the next day. So basically, you know, I said I got there the previous night at like 8 p.m. and there were 2 hikers there, Marco and Chef. And the next morning, Chef made breakfast for everyone, French toast and cheesy scrambled eggs. We had some coffee and yeah, nice relaxing morning. And I was thinking about when am I going to leave? I'm not really in a massive hurry. And then it started raining, similar to Lake City. And it was really raining. Like it was actually probably, I don't know, it rained a lot when I was in Lake City as well, but decent amount of rain. Like I said before, I can totally hike in the rain, but when you've just reached a place to stay at and there's people to hang out with and all that, there's beer on tap and it's raining outside, you know, you might as well stay. And 2 more hikers showed up. And these were 2 people that I'd actually met previously. Their names are +1 and Dogbite. And I'd met them just briefly. I mentioned this before. I basically kind of just hiked past them. Well, I camped with them, but I didn't really get a chance to talk to them. And then the next morning, I kind of passed them while they were like filling up on water. But they seemed like cool people. So it's great that I got to see them again. And yeah, they showed up at the Butterfly House at some point, maybe late morning, early afternoon or something. And so they got there. And yeah, we just all decided to hang out. I kept thinking, am I going to leave or am I going to stay? And you know, we were drinking beer and just eating food and hanging out. And then you know, Chef said she was going to make a big dinner for everyone. And so Shane, the owner of the hostel, actually invited over a lot of the neighbors. It's not a real town or anything, so it's just kind of like cabins in the woods sort of thing. And so a lot of the neighbors came around and met some interesting locals to the area. Some cool people, and we had a big fire. So we had like a big campfire outside, which was really cool. First fire I've actually had on the trail. Most of the time there's actually a fire ban, so you're not actually allowed to have a campfire. But also usually I just hike late and then go to sleep. But this was cool, just right outside the hostel. We had like a massive fire, so that was nice. And yeah, we were all just hanging out, drinking, eating good food that Chef made, and yeah, good time. So had a nice time, especially hanging out. I hung out with +1 and Dogbite quite a bit. They're really cool people, also hiking the CDT. So yeah, just decided to take the day off. There was no real need to, but it's really nice just hanging out with people. It's a similar situation to Lake City. And so now is the next day, and I did actually leave. So I didn't take a 00 or anything, even though it is supposed to rain a decent amount today. We'll see. It might just be scattered thunderstorms or something, but yesterday was real rain that I avoided. Anyway, back on trail, only 1.5 miles to reach the trail, and I've done a couple miles so far already actually at this point. I left the Butterfly House at like 11 a.m. So yeah, it's been a pretty chill morning, was just hanging out and yeah, see how the rest of the day goes. I also just wanted to say that the Butterfly House is a really cool spot. It's basically a hostel set up for hikers. And yeah, you know, obviously I mentioned their beer on tap, but it's just like a really cozy, nice spot to hang out. So really happy that I stayed there. And it was just nice to hang out with people there. They have all these hammocks all over the place outside. It was cold and rainy outside, so didn't really spend any time outside, but they have like a barbecue, stuff like that, like just a cool spot. And I know I mentioned a lot of names. For example, the people I was hanging out with, like +1 and Dogbite, and I end up not really getting them on camera. But like I said before, I don't know, most people don't really want to be filmed, and also most of the time I just don't really ask. Like, I don't know, I just feel a bit weird. I don't really mention the YouTube channel to most people. You know, to most people I'm, you know, just another hiker out here and another person to hang out with and chat with and just have a good time. But I don't really want to go up to people and be like, hey man, like, I got a YouTube channel, like, can I interview you for YouTube? Like, I know it's good content. I know people are curious what these other hikers are like, what all these people I'm meeting are like, and all these cool people I'm hanging out with. But like, yeah, I don't know. Most of the time, it's just not realistic. Most people would be reluctant and like, I don't know, just having a nice time, hanging out in the moment, sort of thing. But I'll definitely try and get some more people on camera at some point, you know, similar to Dread Pirate. But it'll probably happen like when I spend a longer period of time with someone, you know, if I'm hiking with them for a while, not just if I'm hanging out with them like for one day in the town, you know, that kind of thing. But Dogbite and Plus One were cool. They were a couple, married, and it was actually their first through hike. They had chosen to do the CDT, so that's actually really rare. Normally, if I don't mention anything, it means that the person has probably either hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, the Appalachian Trail, but in this case they hadn't done any through hiking. So yeah, interesting. Very few people like that. I've only met a handful. Them, Dread Pirate, and not sure who else. There've been a couple people, but most people have done some big trails before. Most people don't choose this one. But yeah, they were really cool people. They're from Ohio, and I think they lived in South Dakota as well for a bit. And yeah, nice people to hang out with. Well, there you go. There's a moose on camera. I think I captured it quite well. I was further away than you might think. I actually zoomed in as much as possible, as much as this camera can zoom in. And I think this camera does pretty well actually. Even when you zoom in, it's still pretty decent quality. But yeah, that was cool. Just a moose off the side of the trail, and it was just pretty calm, you know, just grazing near a river as well, or a stream. And yeah, I will say it wasn't as cool as the moose that I saw near Silverton, because I did see like a bull with a big rack, you know, like a massive moose with a big rack. But that was still really cool, obviously. Really nice to see another moose. I guess I'll probably see more moose. Seems like they're not that rare, honestly, but yeah, pretty cool. So right now the trail is following what I'm pretty sure is an old railway line. I mean, there's no train tracks here obviously, but basically it skirts like around the edge of here, and it's all like very level, pretty much flat. I think it's where there used to be a railway line. So yeah, as you can see, this is like a very level trail, and also quite a wide trail. So yeah, it's basically just like an old railway bed, and there's still like, see here, this wood here, I assume is from part of the construction of that railway line. And as you can see, there are still some patches of snow around here. Nothing major, just like little patches of snow off the side of the trail like this. But I just wanted to mention that, you know, me slowing down in the San Juans, well, first of all, me having a late start date on this trail, you know, I started on May 10th, which is way later than most hikers. I was basically taking the last shuttle, well, the last shuttle was May 11th, and I went May 10th, so yeah, basically most people don't start that late. Most people start like late April. But anyway, started late. Then also when I reached Grants, I didn't skip up to Colorado, carried on walking, which added extra time compared to the people that skipped up. And then also when I was in the San Juans, slowed down my mileage a lot, and then also like hung out in the towns, like, you know, I hung out in Silverton, in Lake City, and just now at the Butterfly House, you know, spending a lot of time just kind of slowing down and hanging out. And I just wanted to say that like all those reasons, or all those things that I did have like, I don't know, it's a multi-purpose thing, but one of the things which is really beneficial is, see all the snow here? There'd be way more snow here if I had, you know, started earlier on this trail, or if I had skipped the fire closure section and walked the road, or even if I'd been doing big mile days through the San Juans and hadn't been taking zeros and hanging out in these towns. Even then, like, I'd be reaching areas that like I've seen people go through fairly recently. For example, up ahead somewhere not far, there's a pass called Lake Ann Pass, and there's also Hope Pass, and apparently those were like pretty snow covered not long ago, but I think by the time I get there it's all gonna be really easy. And so far, like, Colorado's just been so cruisy, so easy. And I shouldn't say cruisy, but like, because obviously there's a lot of elevation and stuff, and there were some blowdowns, whatever, but like not bad at all. And yeah, I mean, there are some people that came through here like, you know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it just looks miserable. Like unless you really like, you know, going knee deep in snow, or worse than that, you know, all the time, being like camping in the snow, all of that, you know, like, just really happy that I avoided that. I mean, look at this snow right here. It's not on the trail, it's just off the side of the trail. But, you know, 3 weeks ago, this would all be covered in snow and it would suck. So yeah, anyway, really happy with all my decisions of that. And yeah, like I said, even just hanging out in the towns like Lake City and also hanging out at the Butterfly House, all of that is causing causing me to experience less snow travel, which I'm pretty happy about. But like I said, it's also multi-purpose. Like, it was also great to just hang out with people, socialize a bit, and like just chill out, relax, enjoy the views, that kind of stuff. So yeah, kind of a multi-purpose type of thing. But here, for example, this, you can see a lot of people would have had to walk on snow here. I'm gonna have to like just about touch the snow here, but like barely. Like pretty much don't have to walk in the snow until just about right here. Just gonna step in the snow for a little bit, then be back on dry trail. But can you imagine being here like 3 or 4 weeks ago? Be a crazy different story out here. And then even being here just a week ago. I know people that were here a week ago and like they had way more snow travel. So here's a tiny bit of snow travel right here. Barely anything. Just have to walk across this slope in the snow, but yeah, I mean, even a few days ago, there'd be way more snow. Maybe not way more, but I don't know, it's melting out quick because it's pretty hot during the days now with the sun out, and I don't know, it's changing every day. A little bit of snow travel right here, nothing major. And it's pretty slushy because it does get quite warm during the day now, so it's all melting very quickly. But yeah, it's nothing too serious here. Pretty easy, and this will last about 2 minutes. Alright, so as you can probably hear, it is raining. Um, the rain, I don't know, it's not too bad, but it started raining about, I don't know, half an hour before I found a place to camp. So I was above the tree line and clouds were coming in, and they were very dark clouds, like almost black. I was like, yeah, it's definitely going to rain. And there was thunder as well, and I was kind of high up. But yeah, anyway, I just carried on hiking, got down to the tree line, found a good spot to camp. I obviously got pretty soaked, not too bad, but definitely got wet. And then I pitched my tarp, and so now I'm nicely set up. Just gonna eat some food and chill out a bit and then go to bed. So I basically set up camp at like 7:30 or something. But yeah, I think it was a good decision not to try and go further, because basically if I had carried on hiking, after this would have gone back up into a really exposed area, and like I said, there'd be like a 15-mile stretch where I'm above the tree line, and if it's like this, it's not a good idea to be above the tree line, especially because there's been a lot of thunder as well. Haven't seen any lightning, but still, I mean, if you're hearing thunder and it's all stormy like this, I mean, it's definitely best to be in the forest and have a nice setup with my tarp. So yeah.